So when deciding on what to watch this weekend, it was between Resident Evil: The Final Chapter, final, that's funny, or Split, a movie that came out 1 week ago. And even though it's going to be a late review, I'm going to do Split because I've never seen any of the Resident Evil movies, nor do I plan to. Split is the latest movie from M. Night Shyamalan and stars James McAvoy as this man who has 23 split personalities. Yeah, that's a lot to juggle. Anyway, he kidnaps three girls, one played by Anya Taylor-Joy, the other played by the best friend from Edge of 17, and the other who I've never really seen before. There's no real reason as to why he's kidnapped these girls, but as the movie plays on, it just reveals to be pretty bizarre. I'm just gonna say that. Now, this movie has been out for a week, so chances are you probably saw it already. And with M. Night Shyamalan, we know his career, like, he peaked with Sixth Sense and Unbreakable, and then he just went on a downward slope after that, with shit like The Happening, Lady in the Water, The Last Airbender, After Earth. He was pretty much considered one of the worst directors out there. Then 2 years ago, he made The Visit, a found footage movie, which I was surprised I actually enjoyed. And then he comes with Split, which I really was not sure about when I saw the trailers, because, I don't know, maybe M. Night got lucky with The Visit and he'll just go back to being shit again. But Split, I have to say, is pretty good. I like this a little better than The Visit, but it's nothing like absolutely phenomenal. It's just a really good and often intense thriller. The entire movie makes you tense and questions what's going to happen next, especially with this one guy who has many split personalities. One day he's playing this hipster artist, another day he's playing two women, then he's playing this 9-year-old kid. You're just really not sure how to take this guy, and you're kind of in the same position as these three girls, like, what the fuck is happening? We're all gonna die. And a lot of credit goes to James McAvoy, who really is able to play these different personalities as if they were indeed different. And you can tell he's really enjoying this role. And he can be very creepy, even when he's trying to be wholesome and really helpful and kind, or even innocent, he comes across as really creepy, and you just don't know what's going to happen. The rest of the actors are good. Nothing really stands out. Anya Taylor-Joy is good, and so are the other two girls. The movie also has a really good atmosphere. It kind of works as a bottle movie because it takes place in one setting, this basement. It does go outside a few times, but it's not like in Rear Window where it stays in this one location, but it makes good use of the location because it gives you this real sense of claustrophobia. And as I said before, you're on the edge of your seat, really concerned about what's going to happen next and if these main characters are going to get out of it. I did have some issues though. I did feel the movie went for a little too long. You could have trimmed out some scenes or paced it a little better. And then one thing that just kind of bugs me about M. Night's movies is that a lot of the times he'll have his actors look directly into the camera, like they're talking to one another, as if the camera becomes the characters that the other characters having a conversation with. It's a little awkward. It's something that I'm just not quite used to. It just doesn't work well for me. And what also doesn't work is that M. Night keeps putting himself in these movies with small speaking roles. And he's just not that good of an actor. I know he's trying to do what Alfred Hitchcock does, but Hitchcock only just popped up and never said a line of dialogue. It's just like, oh, there's Hitchcock in the movie. Just like with Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson always just puts himself in the background with no dialogue in his movies. M. Night's just not that good of an actor, but that's kind of a nitpick. That aspect right there is only a nitpick. Then I had a problem with the ending. Not that it was bad, it's just two reasons. One, I didn't quite understand the resolution that happened, and then the movie has this twist that other people have said is kind of surprising, really, like, comes out of nowhere. They foreshadow it a few times, and by the time they foreshadowed it a second time, I'd already built up something in my head, and when it actually happens, I was like, well, that was kind of underwhelming. I was expecting something more grand. So that's just based on my personal preference. but I still don't think the ending, the resolution to everything was really that well explained. But besides all that, I think Split is an overall step up for M. Night Shyamalan. It has some great tension. The actors do a really good job. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, and you're not quite sure what's going to happen. I think the ending could have been handled a little better, and the twist didn't really work out for me. But I'd say this is a good movie, just not a great movie. And this honestly makes me excited for what M. Night Shyamalan has in store next, because he's really starting to gain some more respect. So I'm curious to see what happens next. And that's my review for Split. Next Wednesday will be the start of my retro review series for the King Kong movies in preparation for Kong Skull Island in March. So I hope you stick around for that. And until then, I hope you enjoyed this review. Leave a comment down below and tell me what your thoughts are on this movie, if and when you've seen it. And as always, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one.